Hello everyone, Jessica here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the cards that I made for the March 2023 Sheetload of Cards from CallMeCraftyAl. For those of you who don't know, Alicia is a card maker here on YouTube, and every month she comes out with a sheetload of cards that is free to her subscribers. On the sheetload, you get a card sketch, all of the supplies that you need to make the cards, how many cards you're going to get. Usually it's somewhere between 6 and 12, and some alternative ideas for what you can do with the cards. On the back of the sheet load, there is also all of your cutting instructions. So I love sheet loads because they make card making easy. They are a great way to use up my pattern paper, and it's just really easy to batch cards with these because Alicia tells you everything that you need to do. So in the description box, I will put Alicia's video where you can find out how you can get this sheet load for free. So be sure to go ahead and check that out in the description box down there. Okay, so before I show you all of the cards I made, I do want to go over the supplies that I used for my cards. So I decided I wanted to make some baby cards. So I used this Echo Park Welcome Baby Girl paper pad, and I also used the Welcome Baby Boy paper pad. Now this sheet load is for 6x6 papers, but Alicia did mention that this sketch works great with scraps. So that's what I mainly used. I had a lot of scraps in these two paper pads from some previous projects. So I just decided to use up those scraps, and that's what I used for my pattern papers today. Now I decided that I also wanted to bring in an embossing folder to add some texture to my cards. So I used this Spellbinders hand-drawn scallops embossing folder. I just thought it would add a sweet touch to my baby cards. For the sentiment on my cards, I decided to use dies. So I used this die set. This is from Concord and Ninth. It is the Everyday Sayings dies. I like it because these are just super versatile dies that you can use year round for a lot of different occasions. For these cards, I used the word hello. I used the word itself and also the shadow die. And you'll see that for one card, I also used the word friend. On my cards, I wanted them to say hello baby. So I also needed to bring in a baby die. So for that, I used this Sizzix Thinlits die set. I believe this is called Hello Baby, but the only thing I used from this die set was just the word baby so I could complete my sentiment. Now for embellishments on my cards, I used this cover plate die. This is an old die from Recollections, but I like dies like this because I can get a lot of a single element quickly. So instead of running a single heart die through my machine 20 million times, I can just cut this once and get a whole bunch of hearts that I can use in the future. And I just keep them in a little pouch on the back of the die package so that I have those ready to go when I need them. The other thing I will mention that I brought in some glitter paper for my cards, and I used this white sheet of glitter paper. This is from Coordinations in the color Opulent Opal. I picked this up at Joann's a couple months ago, maybe, but it's a really nice thick glitter paper, so I thought I'd mention it. Now, I did use some just pattern paper from my stash, but I don't know exactly where all of it is from, but I just looked through my stash to find things that matched the pattern papers I was using. Okay, so now that we've seen the supplies, oh, and I will link the supplies in the description box below if I can find links for them, because I try to really focus on using what I have in my stash. Sometimes I use things that are retired, but I'm sure you have similar things in your stash that you could use. Okay, so now for the cards. I absolutely adore this sheet load. I think it is one of my new favorites because just look at how cute and adorable this card turned out. I am in love with it. And I can't believe that these were made just using scraps. How crazy is that? So for the cards, for this matting layer, I just opted to use vellum to keep the cards kind of soft and sweet. Plus, I just love the look of vellum on cards. And for the background, I decided to add a little bit of texture by embossing a panel, just to add a little bit of extra interest to the cards. Now for that strip that covers up the seam on the cards, that's where I decided to use the glitter paper, and I wanted that to tie in somewhere else on the card, so I also cut out the word baby from glitter paper as well for these Hello Baby sentiments. And like I said, I just went through my stash and looked through all of the different colored cardstocks I had and tried to find something that was close to the pinks that were used in the pattern paper, and I think it worked out pretty well. Now I am going to be donating these cards, so I wanted to keep them relatively flat, but I still need a little bit of dimension. So the sentiment is flat on the card, but the vellum panel is popped up onto a layer of foam tape. I hope you can see that. But these cards are still thin enough that they will go through the mail without needing extra postage. So I had 4 cards that I was able to make from the scraps from the baby girl paper pad, and 4 cards that I was able to make from the scraps from the baby boy paper pad. And I'm just in love with how sweet these cards turned out. Now I forgot to mention it, but for the inside of the cards, I did take some pattern paper, I cut it down into a banner and just added one of those gold hearts because I still had some left over and I wanted to use them up on my card. I think all of these cards are so great, but the ones with this, like the patterns with the moms and the babies, I think is just super sweet. But I think the little safety pins, oh, so cute too. So cute. Now, like I said, I use scraps to make these cards. So I did have one card where I used scraps and none of the papers really had anything to do with babies. So instead of making this one a baby card, I just decided to make it a Hello Friend card. And I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I also opted not to add all of the hearts to this card. I thought that would make this a little bit more versatile depending on who it is that you're sending out the card to. So those were the 8 cards that I made with the March 2023 Sheetload of Cards. I'm obsessed with all these cards. I just love how they came out. Again, I think this one might be my favorite because just adorable. But they are all so great, and I'm actually really excited to try making some birthday cards with this sheet load. But I think I'll be using it a lot in the near future just because, like I said, I think this is one of my new favorite sketches. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video inspires you to check out Sheetload and try making some of these cards yourself if you haven't already. Don't forget the video that tells you how you can get the Sheetload is in the description box below, so be sure to check it out. And if you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up so that YouTube know you liked the video, and subscribe to the channel so you can catch all of my future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!